All right. Will Liptak here with Indiana Jones. We want to talk about shoes. She loves getting into them. I like talking about them. So I'm an Orange Theory coach, if you can't tell by the orange lights and all the other shit around me. But at Orange Theory, we do a lot of different things. And depending on what your fitness routine is, you might be doing a lot of different things as well. And so if you follow this channel, if you don't follow this channel, whatever, this could help you. If you have a selection of shoes or you're about to go buy your next pair, let's talk about that and see if we can help you find the right pair of shoes for you and your activity. So I've had people ask me in the past about barefoot shoes. So I'll start with that, minimalist, and then we'll add on from there. But anyways, barefoot shoe, I have this Flux trainer that I like to wear sometimes. But anyways, this one, I'll flex around, move it around, but this thing like folds in half. There's not a whole lot of support inside of it, and it's very flat, like zero drop on it. It also has this wide toe box as well. So like the toe box is a little bit wider than the heel. I highly recommend that to anybody. And it's not for any like necessarily scientific reason. I've seen videos and read stuff on people saying that lets your feet, your toes spread out a little bit more. So it's a little bit more natural. But even besides that, it just feels way more comfortable. Your toes can actually wiggle around. You don't feel like you're locked into your shoe. So that could be a good reason just alone, just comfort level. Get any type of shoe where it says it has a wide toe box, and all my shoes have that. But if you look at the toe box compared to the heel, toes are a little bit wider than where the heel's at. Now, minimalist. If you've never worn them before and you're thinking about wearing them, it's not a bad thing. You just want to ease into it. Don't wear it every single day. You either maybe wear it around the house. If you go on walks, hikes, something like that, maybe you wear it during that. But then wear your normal shoes when you're actually working out. And then week after week, what I do, just add another day where you're going to wear it again. Or maybe you wear it a little bit longer, a little bit longer hike or walk or something like that. But you want to build your feet into it. Your feet have muscles in the bottom. And if you're not using them, then this would be the same equivalent as if I told you to go run 50 miles and you've never ran a day in your life. Like it's going to turn into your feet hurting. You're going to have some probably like not just heel pain, maybe calf pain. Things are going to feel weird. So you just have to build up to it. Now, what I will say, even if you've never worn a minimalist shoe before and you want to wear one, you could wear this while you're lifting, especially if you have single leg work. So if we're doing lunges, step ups, things like that, if you notice you're a little bit wobbly, unbalanced, I'll get into the running shoes soon. But when you're wearing those running shoes, there's a lot of cushion, so there's not a lot of stability, which means your feet are wobbling, which means your knees, your hips, they're going to be a little bit less stable, which means it's going to be more of a balancing act on single leg work, as well as just regular squatting, deadlifting, than if you just had a minimalist or if you're going barefoot. So again, no problem with that, but I would keep that either just lifting, especially if you're trying to go heavy, or you just ease your way into wearing it when you're walking or jogging or running, but just don't do it all at once. That's going to be bad news. You're going to have a lot more pain than what you'd like. Next shoe I'm going to go into is going to be the one that I do lift in. So I was showing you that other shoe before and how it has a flat zero drop from the heel to the toe. This one, if you look at the black part, the heel right here, it's a little bit bigger than where the toe is. I think it's about 4 millimeters, which is about average for any type of cross-training shoe. But anyways, with that, 4 millimeters, a little bit of a heel lift. So if my palm is my heel, it's going to be up a little bit like that, which, especially if you have ankle mobility issues or you have trouble squatting all the way down, the higher that heel is, the lower you're going to be able to squat without feeling your knees or your ankles get in the way. So it's not a bad thing at all. Now, this is a strike movement Hayes trainer. The reason I like this too, like the bottom is completely flat. It's very stable. There's a little bit of support on the instep, which when it comes to being like barefoot, you want to feel like there's like some sort of stress or tension on that instep. That's what's going to help keep your foot locked in. With this, if I know I'm going to be lifting heavy or snatching or cleaning or something like that, this is what I go to because I do get that little bit of a heel rise. As well as the foot, the support is very stable. So now when it comes to an Orange Theory class, what I'll do is I'll wear this when I'm doing floor work, and then I'll switch into my running shoes when I'm on the treadmill, especially if we have a really long tread block or if I'm going to get like 2, 3, 4 miles or something, or just if my feet are hurting me that day. But this has a solid amount of support, as well as the bottoms are very, like I said, the bottom of the shoe, stable, locked in. I feel my strongest when I'm wearing that. And last shoe I'm going to talk about is this Ultra. So this one also has a zero drop, but it is built for running, but a lot of cushion on the bottom. So if you're looking here, it's hard to show the cushion part of it, but it is a running shoe. So it has a little bit of bounce, a little bit of give, so I can run for a while before I start to feel any creaks, aches, pains, things like that. But that Ultra shoe as well, I was telling you before, wide toe box. So like right around here, like the top of those shoelaces, wider than the heel is. So that always feels good. Again, highly recommend that. But anyways, with that running shoe, since it has a lot more cushion, a lot more like bounce or give, you're going to be able to get a lot further before you start feeling your feet, your ankles, things like that hurt. Which, perfect world, if you want stronger feet, you want to eventually get out of those running shoes and get to the point where you're able to run in non-running shoes without pain. But it's not super necessary. Like if you're trying to build up your foot strength, then cool, you go and you try to work your way into something that doesn't give as much cushion or have as much like fluff at the bottom. However, like I was saying earlier, if I'm doing squats, if I'm doing a single leg deadlift or a split squat or something where you're one-sided, then that running shoe is going to be really hard for you to stabilize off of. Like even if you are trying to keep your feet locked into the floor, even if you are like clenching your feet, keeping everything tight, very hard to keep yourself locked in because that foam, that cushion at the bottom is always wiggling, even if you're stable. So perfect world, you have a pair of shoes for each part. When I'm doing a CrossFit workout, if I know that we have a lot of running in the workout, then I'll put the running shoe on and just deal with the instability with whatever else is going on. Or if it's not a whole lot of running, then I'll just wear this one and I'm cool. Like the running may not feel like as comfortable, but it's not a huge difference. It's not anything where I'm running enough where my feet or my ankles or my calves are going to be blown up. But again, I like to have a bunch of different shoes. I have a lot of shoes. If you're not one of those people, I would just highly recommend next time you go to buy a pair of shoes, get another one, and just like save your running shoes so you can wear that when you're running on a treadmill or outside, and then have another shoe that you're going to use when you're lifting, working out. But they do have different purposes. They are different tools, and depending on what your goals are, that's the shoe that you should get. So if we're trying to get our feet a little bit stronger, and maybe you're just walking, lifting, you're not doing a whole lot of like sprints or running, then minimalist shoe is good. If you do plan on running, get your running shoe, get something with cushion underneath it so you can get a little bit further without pain. And then if you have some hybrid of the two, like the strike movement's perfect for that. Or you get two different shoes and switch them out when you need them, depending on what your workout is. Anyways, hope that helps. Leave a comment if you want me to go over more or go over one more specifically. Appreciate it.